Hey guys, that Sea Monster here. So today we are going to try and get through the entire plot of Watchmen in 2 minutes. Now, I don't know if we're going to make it or not, but I am going to go as fast as I can and try my absolute very hardest for you. So, without further ado, the mystery of the button and the plot of Watchmen. Start your timers! Now, the plot opens with the murder of Edward Blake in October 1985. There are no leads, no clues, no indication of why or who murdered him. However, your friendly neighborhood Rorschach is on the case, and with the help of his own shrewdness and neuroses, Rorschach discovers that Blake is an old hero that was once on the government's payroll named the Comedian, and he believes that this is the beginning of a conspiracy to take out all Caped Crusaders. With this fear deep set on his string board, he sets out to warn his previous team, Laurie, Silk Spectre, Dr. Manhattan, Adrian, aka Dr. Ozymandias, and Dan Dryberg, Night Owl. In the midst of all this mourning and conspiracies, Dr. Manhattan, a once totally normal guy who is then given radioactive godlike powers, is shown to be linked to cancer in friends and family members and colleagues. Ooh. Despite being relatively detached from humanity, Dr. Manhattan decides to exile himself to Mars, where he won't be able to hurt anyone through accidental cancer ever again. However, considering that he was basically a WMD for the good old US of A, this naturally causes a huge panic, invasions, political turmoil, and a lot of strife all around the globe. Later, Adrian, aka Dr. Ozymandias, manages to survive a brutal attempt on his life, proving Rorschach's theory that someone is indeed out to off every single superhero. Sadly, he can't really enjoy his vindication as he's quickly imprisoned for the murder of a former enemy, Moloch. Of course, it is heavily implied that he has been framed. With the far-removed Dr. Manhattan still on Mars, his former flame, Silk Spectre, begins a romance over some late-night vigilantism with Night Owl. They pick up where Rorschach left off on his theory, and they actually find out that he was right, and they break him out of prison. Dr. Manhattan is still chilling on Mars, reminiscing about the good old times, particularly the good old times where he had mortality, a soul, a sense of humanity, emotions, and a vibrant, bright, romantic life with Laurie. He teleports her to Mars so that they can talk about it together, and during this we discover that the comedian, Edward Blake, is actually Laurie, aka Silk Spectre's biological father. There is also a lot of messiness that involves the few times that the comedian tried to rape her mother, and the fact that she is actually not a product of one of those rape attempts, but is actually a product of a time when they were together consensually. Realizing that humans are really complicated and I guess super entertaining, Dr. Manhattan decides to give this whole humanity thing another try. Meanwhile, Night Owl and Rorschach discover evidence that points to Adrian being the one who is behind all of the murders. The two of them track Dr. Ozymandias down to his Antarctic base, ready for a fight. However, it's not a fight they get, but Dr. Oz instead explaining to them that he is actually trying to stop the impending nuclear war between the US and the Soviet Union. To unite the world and to stop humanity from totally destroying themselves, he plans to stage an alien invasion that will not only create an enemy for humans to unite against, but will also kill half of New York's population. Give a little, get a little. During this deranged hero's monologue, he reveals that he did indeed kill the comedian, killed Moloch, framed Rorschach, and gave all of Dr. Manhattan's friends, lovers, and colleagues cancer. Unlike many stories, however, the villain's diatribe does not buy the heroes more time to save the day. In fact, the plan is already in motion and it can't be stopped. The end of New York is coming. We see New York next through the eyes of Laurie and Dr. Manhattan. They have now returned from Mars, but there is death all around them. Buildings are destroyed and dismantled, and crashing through the city is a huge, horrific, tentaclelicious, Lovecraftian beast. Dr. Manhattan tries his best to help, but he finds that his abilities are blocked. He tracks this blockage to Dr. Oz and teleports to his Antarctic base to confront him. But once Dr. Oz has all of his former teammates and friends in the same location, he shows them broadcasts across the globe that he was, in fact, right. Global hostilities have ended, the world is uniting together against a new threat, and the truth is that, in the best interest of the entire world, none of them should ever reveal the truth. The ultimate good. In the end, Rorschach is silenced after he threatens to expose Dr. Oz to the world. Dr. Manhattan doesn't want to live on this planet anymore and leaves Earth to create life somewhere else, and Silk Spectre and Night Owl go into hiding as an awesome vigilante couple. We end with an editor and a journalist. The editor complaining that there's no good news now that the world is united, and the journalist fishing around the submissions pile and reaching for Rorschach's journal. So there you guys have it. That is the whole story of Watchmen. The button, the aforementioned button that I talked about earlier and mentioned in my title, is the button belonging to the comedian. It was a very important keepsake of his that he carried with him throughout the Vietnam War and even kept with him during his time as a civilian. It is that button that Rorschach finds after the comedian has been murdered, with a single drop of blood on it. Rorschach picking up that button is considered the thing that set all of the events in Watchmen in motion. It is a very important button, and I look forward to greatly what DC Rebirth has in store for us and how they plan on using the button today. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have a suggestion for a story that you'd like to hear me tell you as fast as I possibly can, please leave it in the comments below. Thank you guys so much. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe, leave lots of comments below, and I will see you all in the next issue. Bye-bye.